Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum all dear viewers. Welcome to my show, Sports Talk. This is your host, Hussein Mahmood, bringing you live debates on UC TV. Many thanks for all your support and encouragement thus far. We're definitely on track and momentum is most definitely being felt. Please continue to share, comment and or like Facebook posts, YouTube and subscribe to UC TV for ongoing notification and progress updates. On this week's show, episode 4 on the topic, I will continue to bring views surrounding the low entry level of British South Asians in top flight football. We will be using the classic Hawthorns League as a case study to our progression and or the lack of it. As always, we all have a role to play in creating awareness and promoting individual performances and developing our youth today for tomorrow. Adopting the right mindsets, breaking the current mould, opening hearts and opening doors to top flight football, diversity, equality and a fair qualification system being our number one agenda. If you're only tuning into this episode, allow me to inform you, we're looking for selected clubs on grassroots levels, producing superstars in line with the FA's REACH plan, which is to fund and support clubs and players to break through into top flight football. Alongside myself, today we have two guests, our very own Mr. Khalid Isa, a pro level 4 referee currently managing and representing Blackburn Elite FC, and a pioneer in his field, a professional level 3 active referee, a manager, a coach and a player in his career, a natural architect, one of the founding fathers of the classic Hawthorns League, Mr. Ismail Isa. Assalamu alaikum to you both.
Wa alaikum salam.
MashaAllah, nice to have you on the show. Ismail, Khalid, usually I'm on your case. Today we have Mr. Ismail Isa, the man himself.
Yeah.
It's great to have you on the show today, Mr. Isa.
Thank you, Mr. Hussein.
You're very welcome. Have you been watching our last 3 shows?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with it actually, to be honest. I think this program should have started years ago.
Alhamdulillah, that's great news.
And I think this is a good way of letting people know in UK that there is a lot of sports going on, and I think it's a great idea that what you've done.
Fantastic, great news. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy and I'm pleased that you found this platform to be a reach out and awareness, and we are moving towards changing the mould and breaking through into top flight football. As always, as previously episode 1, 2 and 3, we also have Cal. He's not changed much. He looks pretty much the same to me.
Do I look better? Am I better looking than my dad or what?
Your dad is most definitely better looking. How are you doing today, Cal?
Alhamdulillah, bro. All good, man.
How's your responses? I ask you every week. How's your response getting along?
I tell you what.
How are we doing? How are we doing with this breakthrough?
Alhamdulillah. Do you know what? There's been so much noise out there, and it's getting out there. I've been speaking. Everybody I just bump into it like, oh, I've been watching your show. And you know, mashallah, you've been doing really well. But you know what, getting my dad on, and obviously last week we left a bit of a what do you call it, a teaser that who's coming on.
We certainly did.
And I'll be honest with you, I had so many names asking who is it. So a couple of people guessed it right, but I couldn't say who it was. But obviously now he's on.
Alhamdulillah,
so,
there you go.
Gone.
There you are. The surprise is here, but I can tell you we have great experience coming through with Mr. Ismail Isa. We've obviously talked about several things in regards to the football in our area. Hawthorns League we're using as a case study. Let's take it from there. Ismail, what was your goals and your vision for the creation of the Hawthorns League?
Well, in 1995, I was a youth worker working for the Blackburn Borough Council under John Ratcliffe department. And from there, the director of the Blackburn Borough Council leisure department, a gentleman called John Forshaw, knew me regarding all the football, cricket, you name it, I was involved in. He then put it towards a gentleman called Mr. Siraz Netha, who's from Preston, working in Blackburn, office at London Road at that time. he then emailed me telling me that, Ishmael, we need your help. In the way that he wanted something more project to be done in sports-wise and integrating different community.
Excellent. Sounds good. Much like ourselves pushing the sports development side for our youth.
So basically what happened then, obviously I couldn't do it on my own. So I then mentioned to Siraz that there's a couple of more people that we are all working together.
Yeah, it's a big project, isn't it?
To try and get this project going.
Absolutely.
And basically what happened was I then got involved with Mo Mutara, who's obviously people know who he is, ex-Premier League referee.
Mo Matador.
Yeah, Mo Mutara. He was a young lad then. And also a gentleman called Iqbal Pai. Everybody knows him as well. He's now involved with Blackburn United Football Club. We then got Asif. I can't remember his surname because it's been a long time. So obviously there's four of us. We then came to a project where we said, right, okay, how are we going to manage this project of opening a football league involving a lot of the Asian community,
Sure.
okay, to play on grass.
Grassroots.
Because until then, there was hardly anybody playing on grass.
Okay.
So our first project was to say, right, okay, how do we tap into young people at that time? Because until then, there were no youth coming through. It was all senior football at that level.
Okay.
What we did then is me, Mo, Iqbal, we then went around to the schools, going around at weekends on the streets, people playing football into different areas of Baswell, Woolley Range, Highcroft, Mill Hill, everywhere. We then managed to get together some teams. So we thought, right, okay, what age can we target? And at that time, I thought we'll do under 10s and under 14s, okay? Along the line, then what we did is we then got 8 teams of under 10s and 6, or I think it was about 6 or 8.
Six of under 10s.
Yeah. 6 of under 10s and I think 8 of under 14s.
Six of under 10s and
Yeah.
8 under 14s.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got these lads together
Yeah.
and create the Hawthorns League.
Yeah. But to have this creation of this league, well, we had some kind of rules, okay, where the rules are that every team must have some kind of other background players, not just the Asians, to try and mix and integrate other people into the teams. So it could be black, it could be the white players, anybody, as long as they all have that kind of incentive to play football.
Okay.
And it worked, to be honest. And the first year, it took off. We went to Hawthorns Junior School, asked them to see if we can have the grass pitches there. So
Right.
we used that. We
Okay.
then went to Beardo School, ex-Billinge in the days of 70s. It turned into Beardo School. We went there. The head teacher then obviously helped us out to give us the grass pitches there.
Right.
So the Hawthorns started at that time.
1995.
Yeah, 1995 it was.
Sure. Okay. And how? Sorry, go on. Explain.
So as it gradually grew, obviously then more and more team wanted to join. More news came on. At that time, Lancashire Evening Telegraph really helped us out with all the news and everything. And
were you getting good coverage?
Yeah, definitely,
You know,
100%. I
great
must say
thing
yes.
to do. Great
Yeah.
sports encouragement for the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then it just took off. And then the year after, we got the under 12s, under 10s, and under 14s. Then. And
Okay,
then
so
it
you
grew.
had 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, 10, 12s, and 14s.
10, 12,
And the league
14.
then started to
Okay.
grow.
Right.
We then got obviously then I think was it 2000 or something like that. We had the Burnley and the Bradford riot.
Yeah, but that was later on. But what we did before
but
that,
so just before that,
the league expanded to
the
so many
league then
different
expanded,
venues.
and what we were looking for is I knew some people from Blackburn Rovers, and I knew a couple of people from Burnley as well.
Is that the Blackburn Rovers, the club?
The actual Blackburn Rovers.
Okay. Did you know the management team or?
In the days of Tony Parks and a long time ago, I can't remember the names, but I got involved with them. They knew me as well, and they were always asking me, "Have you got any talent that we can come and watch?"
Excellent.
Okay, so obviously they came to watch our weekends. We've had two young white lads, Ben Toner and Simi Lucas, who started refereeing as well.
Okay.
And I'll come to that in a minute. But then they started to come to watch, and they picked two players from the Hawthorns League. One was Shakil Butt.
The man himself?
Yeah, and one was Yaqub Khan.
Yaqub Khan, I've heard about him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They both
yet.
went for trials. Yaqub went to Burnley. Bolton. And I think Shakil went to Burnley. Yeah, that's right. It's been a long time ago, so sorry if I...
And I had the privilege of playing with both players, because they were both on my team.
MashaAllah. Khalid, I'll get to you in just a minute, mate.
Yeah.
I've died to say
Don't go too far, mate. Don't go too far. Just stay right there for me, pal.
So basically, them two lads was, mashallah, they went all the way to Burnley and Bolton. They looked after them. Parents got involved because I had a word with their parents. They were taking them to training and fitness training and all that kind of stuff. And then at the same time, we've got these two young referees, Ben Toner and Simi Lucas. And guess where they are now? Ben Toner is on the Football League.
Excellent.
In the middle, not even an assistant. And Simi Lucas in the lower division, which is it Northern Prem, they call it?
Yeah, just below League Two. Just below League
Both
Two.
have been quite successful.
And Simi Lucas is on the assistant on the Football League.
Okay.
So out of the Hawthorns, we got 4 people, young people, who went through to higher grades. Obviously, the league grew and grew, and then, like I just said, the Burnley and Bradford ride came in. We then got the police involved. Police were so interested in this project that we were doing that they were throwing money at us, saying, "Here, we'll give you so much money. Please help us. We don't want this riots to happen in Blackburn."
Absolutely, Ismail. And funding is most definitely available for the right teams, for selected players. We've had to reach out. We're reaching out. Alhamdulillah, we're within them spaces where we could now start to reach out to you guys, you reach out to us guys, we start to close that gap and we bridge it. If you know, or if you're a player and you know of our player and you think can make it through and the talent is there, get in touch with us. The number's on the screen, as previously, it's 07864 55 5540. Get in touch. We'll take your comments on board and we'll take it that one step further. Ismail is with us today. We're discussing the Hawthorns League. It's why we're using the case study for Hawthorns League as a case study. You've mentioned 4 people have come out of that, and 2 of which have gone on to the next level. 2, unfortunately, have not. I want to understand, when the Hawthorns League was taking place, you had 6 teams, 8 teams. You've roughly had about 100, 150 players.
No, more than that.
Probably more.
That was it, yeah. Starting off.
Yeah,
when you're finding, because we're taking our British South Asians into top flight football. When you're finding superstars and talented players on the pitch, which you felt at that time they could be recommended or taken forward to the next level, what kind of support or what kind of infrastructure do you think we need now, and we most definitely need for the future?
If we're going back into 1995, we didn't get that much support. Now, there is a lot of support if you tap into the right organisation.
Okay.
But my personal opinion, we haven't got that kind of talent to do this.
Right, okay.
You understand me?
Right, okay. Now, previously, I must say, your son, the man himself over here, Khalid Isa, I've asked him the question on episode 2. Watch that. I asked Khalid, do you believe we have the talent? Did I, Khalid?
I can't remember. It's been that long ago because you waffle on so much. It's been that long.
I mentioned that. Do you think it's the case of the talent? I mentioned.
I think there is a case of the talent. Yes, but then obviously you got to look at everything else that comes with it. So you can't just look at the talent itself, because I don't think talent itself is going to take you further.
Okay,
especially with us being from the South Asian background. I'll be honest.
So you're saying raw talent is not enough?
Yeah.
So this is the question I'm asking. If 2 people have come out of the Hawthorns League, Ismail. Where would you say they were talented enough?
Where would they?
Would you say that they were talented at that time?
Yeah. And to be honest now we got a lot of talent, to be honest, if proper people go and watch them.
We're talking like the scouts and stuff.
So what I'm saying is the East Lancashire Alliance Junior League, we've got over 400 teams, okay, now, which I'm involved with other executive members.
Is this through your refereeing and your...
No, this is a separate organisation, because all these Hawthorns then came to...
So what happened with the Hawthorns? Where did we go from...
Okay, from the Hawthorns League, what happened then, a lot of our teams then joined the Blackburn Youth League, which was organised by Peter Holden.
Okay.
Peter Holden still lives in Great Howard. He's our treasurer on this other league now. So the league did carry on from Hawthorns to Blackburn Youth League. Most of the teams joined them, and then from the Youth League it combined with this East Lancs Alliance Junior League to make it into a massive East Lancs League.
But you also did
it
in the Community League as well. That was after the Hawthorns as well.
Yeah, the 7-a-side, which is completely separate than the grass. This was played on the AstroTurf.
Okay.
And I'm all for playing
grass.
Grass.
It's got to be
this is where the
proper football.
Yeah,
that's
a couple of age
it.
groups did ball in grass at Witton Park on the where they do the bonfire now.
Yeah.
If you remember. So that was still part of the unity in the community.
So you mentioned 2 came out of it at that time, Ismail, and the Hawthorns League, there had so many players, there was so much energy behind it, and for me it's all about results, it's all about superstars, and it's about breakthroughs. I want to know what happened to them players.
The players from the Hawthorns League.
From the Hawthorns League, the development of the Hawthorns League in our Blackburn area, so that we could understand what's happening with our players, and where do you think more support we should be going in for our players in terms of player mindset, player attitude, and player progression as a person, not just as talent, Ismail. If you could give us some insight into that.
My personal opinion on this is, with our young people, okay, there's few barriers, okay. Barriers that we're talking about will be, obviously, after school, at their young age, they go to the mosque. They've no time for going for training. That's one barrier. That's stopping them achieving further.
Episode 1, I believe we covered that.
Yeah.
Ismail, we did actually cover all that on episode 1.
Number 2,
that's covered. Okay.
Number 2, I think in them days, our parents wanted our sons and daughters to be more into doctors, nurses, or other
engineers and professions,
like that.
other type of professions.
Football and cricket wasn't their interest.
So, as I've mentioned in episode 1 previously, our parenting will be adopting alternative routes to what we know as success. Success for us wasn't on the football pitch. Ismail, I will come on to them points here. We've got a comment coming in on YouTube. I'm going to read it out to you guys, saying you should be proud of your achievements, bringing youth to grassroots football. But my boys look forward to their weekends. One is a referee and one plays for Blackburn United. Mashallah, Jazakallah, great, thank you very much. And Sabana, we are actually quite proud of what we do. Inshallah, with your support, we can get further. We could do a lot more. So yeah, thank you very much. Keep them comments coming in. Keep the encouragement going. Like, share, and visit the Facebook blog page as well. Sorry, Ismail. So you mentioned parenting.
And the third issue would be that in them days we didn't get the support of a lot of funding. We didn't get the facilities like they have in Leicester and London now. Yeah. So there was a lot of barriers that was stopping our South Asian footballers going forward. Now, if you're talking now in 2020, it's all different. We've got everything.
We've got everything.
We've got the pitches. We've got facilities. Okay, we might not have the facilities indoors more that people can tap in and try and teach them like 1-to-1 session or something like that. We don't have that. Okay, but it's there now. Not in the 1995 when
the infrastructure, you'd say,
everything is there for them. But the only problem is now is more and more in the ears of from where we started from. Like I said, when I started, it was 1974.
Playing as a player.
As a player, coach, manager, you name it, I've done everything. But now,
Multitask.
but now is we're getting, I don't think we are getting more players to get involved to play football, to be honest. That's my opinion.
Why is that the case, Ismail? Why are we not getting players being ultimately committed to breaking through to top flight football? Is that something that we need to focus on as a player? What's stopping Asian players, British South Asians, from breaking the mould and getting to that top flight football? Would you say, considering the Hawthorns League, the development of it, you mentioned Blackburn Youth United, and then did that turn to Blackburn United?
No, Blackburn Youth League.
Yeah.
Then it joined with the East Lancs Junior League, which is now the one big league.
Okay, so once we do have so many active players in Blackburn, and I know I've played in, as I mentioned before, in Witton Park, and I know there's so many active players. What are we limiting? Are we putting a cap on ourselves in terms of what we believe we can achieve? And what's it going to take? What advice and what, from your experience, what would you say to players to get through to top flight football? What type of attitude do we need?
Players need to be committed. That's first thing. Okay. Parents need to support them. Parents need to take them to football grounds where their son or daughter are going to be playing.
Ismail, I'm very sorry, I've got to stop you there. We're just going to go on a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum, welcome back all viewers. Just before the break we was discussing with our two guests today, one of which is Mr. Khalid, and we was discussing with Mr. Ismail Isat, and the question I put forward to Ismail before the break was, what advice and encouragement, statement or one line would you give our youth today to break into top flight football tomorrow?
My advice to all young footballers, either females or males, is be committed. Get your parents to get involved to help you, and also take them to training sessions, get them to get involved with, integration with the players who are they going to play with. That's very important.
The team.
Yeah.
Teamwork, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is very important, because a lot of the time our Asian footballers either very quiet, confidence is low, and what I say to them is go out there, same with our young Asian referees that we have, go out there and show your ability that you can be a good footballer.
Absolutely, 110%. I totally 100% agree. Express yourselves. Nothing, absolutely nothing should hold you back. There is great talent, great aspiration, great vision, and I will follow you. And we're going to take you through to top flight football. I am looking for you. We are looking for you. Get involved, get in touch, get interactive, drop your comments on that YouTube video. Khalid, What is it, mate?
I'm not going to get much of a say today, so I'll tell you what. I'll take control of the social media and the WhatsApp messages.
Yeah, you do that, Cal. That'll be
because I'm not. You know, I'm feeling so left out today, honestly. Anyway, right. I'm going to read out a few comments that we've had. So the first one is, "Hi, what's the medal Ishi is wearing, please?" And also, the same person has mentioned this. Ishi has dedicated a whole lifetime for Asian sport. About time he got recognised with the OBE. Before I let my dad answer this question, yeah, I think 100% right. I think he does need an OBE. I think he does need the recognition, and I think people forget that and how much work he has done. Because I'll be honest with you, ever since growing up as a child, all it has been is dad and football, dad and football, dad and football. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, I was quite the lucky one. Out of my brothers and sisters, I'm quite the lucky one because I was involved heavily with the football. So he was always supporting me. So I got more
Still don't watch him.
Maybe you need all the help you can get, Cal.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah. So that was one of the things. And then, so do you want to answer that question? What's the medal Ishi's wearing, please?
This is representing the league that I'm involved in now. Which I love this league. We've got over 450 teams in this league, and it's called the East Lancashire Alliance Junior League. And I've got this T-shirt from them, so I thought I'll put that on tonight.
Excellent.
To keep the exec committee happy.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. As long as they get our British South Asians into top flight football, we're all for it. Ismail, you mentioned obviously the Hawthorns League, the British youth team, and then the junior team. Is this the same team? Is this the same league?
This is the league that I'm involved with, yeah.
Okay,
I'm the referee secretary for that.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent.
Which now comes to the referee, which I've mentioned to Khalid about this, not forgetting that we've got over 35 Asian young referees involved. Nobody in England has got 35 Asian referees, and we don't get all this highlight from any county FAs or anything like that. Nobody even come to us and say, your league is boasting 35 Asian young referees helping your league.
I tell you what, Ismail, I'm here for you today. I could tell you that is a massive achievement. Alhamdulillah, this is what this platform is bringing you. We're going to break through. Stay tuned. You've got to get in touch with us, get involved with us, drop us your YouTube comments. Let us know where the great talent is. We will follow it, we will back it. Alhamdulillah, we have many years of experience, and we will recognise the fact that 35 referees
35, yes.
of British South Asian descent are currently in the East Lancs.
Age 14 to 18-year-old referees that we have.
Age 14
to 18.
18. Yeah. So, inshallah.
Asian referees only.
Asian referees only.
And then we got more, like 140 other mainly
contributors, right? Players.
And females as well. Don't forget the females. We've got 5 or 6 female referees on our league.
Excellent.
And we got one Asian female referee that's never been mentioned by the FA or anybody.
Fantastic. Baji, excellent work. You keep that going, because the more we break through on all fronts, the easier it's going to be for us, for all the youths breaking through. So great mention. Out of them 35 referees, 14 to 18 year olds, I'm going to keep tuned. We're going to keep tuned. We're going to follow them, and we're going to see them break through to any aspect of top flight football. Khalid, I know you're saying something to me. What is it, mate?
Well, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I've been this busy on social media, and today I could do a bit of both. So I'm not talking. So anyway, I've got another one. This is from Bilal from Preston. So asked the panel a question. Despite talented Asian players and teams in Lancashire and North West, why have we not got a semi-professional football? They run Nelson football team, right? Now, the question is, why don't we have a local semi-pro team?
Yeah? That's the question.
So I would think, I think a lot of it does come down to political stuff, political gains in our own community. That's my personal opinion.
What level political? Political as in culturally political, or game political, or what?
I think when it comes to...
That's a big field. We want to know more.
So we talk about Blackburn teams, yeah? We've got 7 or 8 Blackburn teams, yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of it, why have they separated? And I'll be honest with you. One, it comes down to because of friendships. Then it comes down to friends, family and friends. So that was the first point, family and friends. Then it comes to their own personal egos and attitudes, and then I think it's just politics that kick into it and saying, well, you know what, you might be a different caste to what I am. I might not let you play for my team. So that, you know, we've got to look at
internal
politics and these all
feud.
Yeah, these are
disputes.
These are all got to be looked at. I think
hindering our performance.
And I think instead of just being out there and saying that, you know what, you've got raw talent, let's see what we can do and take this further. They don't do it.
Support, and encouragement.
Yeah.
I mentioned demoralisation before.
Yeah.
Why are we not encouraging? We need to encourage our players. We need to support them. We need to work a system that works for us all.
I think my dad should answer that. What do you think? Why do you think?
I've got a bit different view than Khalid. Okay, I think he touched a little bit on what I want to say as well. We need some kind of like a level 3 or level 2 coach in Blackburn. Okay, that's first thing.
I agree with you.
I think we've got enough level 2 coaches, but
okay.
It's just taking it forward.
The other thing is there's too much jealousy going on
amongst our players.
Amongst the players. And
boys, what's happening there?
And this
what is going on there?
That's my personal view, and I think most of the people who's listening to this TV will agree on it. Until we don't break this barrier, we're not going to get a semi-pro team.
Okay, that's a big point there, Ismail. What you touched on there. Are we going for the battle and taking our eyes off the war? Are we taking small bites and leaving the plate where it is? Are we doing enough? Get in touch. Do you feel or have you felt jealousy? Do you feel people are not, your teammates are not allowing you getting through? What do we need to do? Ismail, how do we get over this jealousy part?
It's going to be difficult, Hussein, because until people start respecting each other in sports. Don't get me wrong, in referee it doesn't happen. Everybody respect me what I do for them, and everybody support each other. And if we can have that into a football club, we won't have a problem, and we will have a semi-pro team. Like I said, Khalid said, we've got a semi-pro football ground, Nelson. I'm sure Fayaz will let us use that facilities, no problem. I know him. Shoaib from Asian Image knows him. Loads of people knows him. But it's the time has to be right to do this. And it's not going to happen in 2020. It's not going to happen in another 2 or 3 years. It's going to happen maybe 4, 5, 6 years time. When the jealousy gets over it. And this is where the
So jealousy is a big part of it there for you, Ismail, I'm afraid. I never like to say that word too strongly because I personally am a great team player, great team supporter.
I've played in those teams. You're not a team player.
You've not had enough talk time today, so you're going to say that, aren't you? But encouragement goes a long way. This platform, this station, for you viewers and for all the British South Asians is giving us a platform for encouragement and letting all our players know what do we think. Express yourselves. Get in touch with us. Get us your comments, likes and shares, and let's get this moving.
Can I just read out some of the comments?
You certainly can, Khalid. What is it?
Right, so we got Shabs Discovers on YouTube. Salam's boys, maybe the increase of game consoles and the lure of Fantasy Football League. That might be a block.
So
I think the game console, I do agree with. As in, like, people are not spending enough time out.
Are you saying that the egos are exhausted on the consoles rather than the football ground?
Yeah, because now you look at, when we were growing up, I used to be out. I mean, you can ask my dad, he's here. From the 10 o'clock in the morning till 9, 10 o'clock at night, I was out and I was just playing football all day long. Now, people are glued to the TVs.
Too much computer, too much games. People just want to go out for a meal out. People to hang around in cars. Not enough activities they want to get involved in.
Would you say that happens from a young age, or is that what they think? Football's not. I think it's a Sunday league.
I think it's all this since this technology came in, the telephones, the computer, 14, 15 years ago. So it's all gone down.
So just 1 second, Carl. I know you want to get in here. 1 second. So we've got the Hawthorns League. We've got 4 players that have come out of it so far.
Well, 2 players and 2 referees.
2 players, 2 referees. Yeah. 2 referees actually go on to
And they're still active.
And
yes.
they're still active in the football industry. Where's the rest of the guys, Ismail?
Okay.
Well, I mean, because I know two made it to the school of excellence or academy level.
Yeah.
Where's competition? Because if you're telling me it's jealousy can't breed from no competition. There has to be. Where's the rest of the boys?
The rest of the boys from the Hawthorn leagues did carry on playing, and they, to be honest, then they more got involved rather than the grass. They started playing on AstroTurf at Wisdom Park.
Right. Okay. So that for me is a demotion.
Yeah.
If you're talking about top
don't
flight
ask me
football,
why. We were trying to say.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry about this, and Ismail and Khalid.
Yeah.
It's a question for you, my friend. As always, would you recommend, or would you say, or would you give turf football, AstroTurf, that credit of being a proper football game?
No. Well,
One answer. What's it going to be? What's it going to be?
So ask me again.
Hussein, can I just put in? Now, don't get me wrong, the AstroTurf has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got 11
it's more
aside.
like a grass.
You've got the
It's
4G and the
more.
3G.
It's not classed as AstroTurf
Because
anymore.
I appreciate that point, Ismail.
We didn't have this in the 90s.
But this is it, you see, I'm thinking about the Hawthorns League as a case study, and I'm thinking, okay, where have them players gone to? And if you're saying they've gone from grass to AstroTurf, that's not really telling me they're going to go into top flight football.
The only
Why do they feel they need to come or look at a substitute way of football? Because that Sunday turf football or 7-a-side football, that for me is a training session.
yeah, it was
That
just
for
like
me
that.
is anybody playing that type of games and being the footballer. I'm sorry, mate.
No,
That don't rub off on me.
I agree
But-
with you on that.
Right? The real footballers play on grass.
Yeah.
The proper
11-a-side
players,
football.
11-a-side grass football, grassroots level.
Yeah.
That's football. That's Premiership. That's top flight status.
Yeah.
Why are we not going from AstroTurf football, 7-a-side football, to proper football?
But you do know that there's more facilities now and they're trying to cater, and it's meant to be 4G now. They're not looking at
4G,
grass.
11-a-side.
So you look at Blackburn, yeah. So from Witton Park, which used to be the hub of football in Blackburn on AstroTurf, they've changed it to 3G, and it's been funded by the Lancashire FA, and they're trying to promote it as much now on 3G because they don't have. So I know you talked about earlier about the funding, but there's not funding for the pitches itself. Like you look at Pleasanton, the Pleasanton pitches have been there for how long? I mean, it was before my time.
Many years since I came to this country.
Right. So Pleasanton, you look at the change rooms itself. Yeah, I'm not talking about the pitches. You look at the change rooms. Them change rooms look like they've been built in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, I agree.
It's more colder inside there than it is outside.
Oh, it's cool.
So it's the funding that it's the funding that they need.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot more 3G, 4G grass football now compared to grass, and I don't agree with it because I hate 3G. I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. I get shin splints, and that's the reason why I hate it.
But when I say grass football, that's fine. I mean, 3G for me is like grass, artificial grass, because somewhat pull that off. But it has to be 11-a-side pitch. The area and the length has to be
grass,
11-a-side.
So
7-a-side, 5-a-sides. Sorry, lads.
So Hussein,
It's
can I
trading.
just come into it then? Once the Hawthorn was, we still then have a couple of 11-a-side football teams playing on grass.
But this was my next question. We're the senior team
Yeah,
on
we
the
did.
11-a-side on
I was
grass.
the one who actually was running the football team called Posh Football Club.
Okay.
We had different names. It depends on who was sponsoring us.
The sponsor name was...
Yeah, and then
Rather than team,
Iqbal Bhai took over. We then called it as Blackburn United.
Okay.
Now
So
Blackburn United have now,
Javed Iqbal, you mentioned. Is
no,
this?
Jab was with me. Jab Firoz was with me.
Okay, all right. Okay. So
we
Iqbal
used
Bhai
to-
was the manager owner of what?
No, Iqbal Bhai was. We were organising a league at that time called the Northern Sunday League.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
and we had about 3 or 4 teams in that league as well. That carried on while the Hawthorns was still playing.
Still being
instantly.
played. Yes, I
So
understand.
the level aside was already played in from the 1974-75. So that was carrying on. We have Accrington team, we had Preston team, we had Bolton teams, we had loads of teams. About 20 odd teams from different towns we used to play. The only thing we didn't do was to integrate them to play with other background of players,
Okay.
which then we brought that into in 1978 or 79. We had a chairman, Terry Dunleavy,
Okay.
used to live in Accrington. We then mixed the teams up, and that ran it for quite a few years.
Right.
Okay, and then the Hawthorns came in and all that with the young people.
Okay. So,
But now,
Yeah.
okay, from that 11-a-side teams, Blackburn United then came in.
But
So
did
now,
okay. So then came Blackburn United from there.
yeah,
That's currently in the combination league.
yes.
So is it fair for me then to say that a lot of them players that were originally at Hawthorns are now playing in the combination league?
Well, no, we're at past an age now.
Yeah.
No, I mean like
when they're my age, yeah, they can
Yeah.
carry on play,
Yeah.
but anybody that's
you're
older
still
than me,
playing, are you? You're
yeah.
at Hawthorns league.
Yeah, but
player.
I'm 35 now, going to be 36, yeah. So
Bless
we were the youngest age group at the time, which was under 9s, under 10s, yeah.
Okay.
So you got to think about it now. So some of the players are still playing, but over the last 5 years, that lads
age
from
group
is passing
is
on now,
past it now,
and
yeah.
they're not playing.
But this is what I'm saying. If them guys are past it, all of the guys in the Hawthorns league, what are you doing with your experiences? Why are we not seeing any coaches come through? If we're seeing talented individuals getting through to Burnley, you mentioned, and Bolton, and unfortunately for whatever reason they've not made it to top flight football. What's happening to all that skill set? What's happening to all the knowledge, all the coaching, all the experience that they've gained? Where are you guys? Why are we not finding them guys promoting the right level of football, the right attitude, the right ethics as such in terms of workload to our youngsters today?
Okay, so can I just touch on that now?
Of course you
It's
can.
good that you brought that up. To be honest, the ex-players now who has retired, their children are now playing for Blackburn United or AFC Face or AHF. So
Okay.
they are getting involved to try, and these are the parents who are supporting the children.
All right,
But
okay.
if anybody
Yeah.
if anybody hasn't got involved in football, then parents are not supporting their children. You don't even see them at weekend. They just let them go, travel with somebody else, play the football, come home.
Okay.
But I must say that the ex-football players are still involved and going around taking their children. I've got ex-players, young people who are referees.
Okay.
So that's
right, so
really
they're
good.
kind of transferring in different
Yeah,
parts
yeah,
of
yeah,
the games.
yeah.
But are we currently getting the message out collectively?
Not really, no.
No.
That's
not really.
something we need to work on.
Okay, so if each and every one of these, what can I say, talented individuals that now feel let down by the system are doing everything they can on their own, do you feel as though as a community, in every community up and down the country, where dense British South Asian populations are, that's your Birmingham, your Leicester, your Bradford, Manchester, up and down the country, I mean I could go on, the list goes on, what can they be doing together to promote, and what kind of message should they be promoting? I mean, what I'm asking is this issue upstream? I mean, do we need the coaches to set the right example for the youngsters, or do we need straight out raw talent for our youngsters and go with it? Or is it a combination of both?
Yeah, it's both. But I was saying to Khalid before, before I came here, what I find now, even now in 2020, I referee a lot of games, even in youth, juniors or seniors, whatever. And what I find is you'll have a team there, 11 aside, playing football, and that team might have maybe 1 or 2 Asian lads playing for them. And what baffles me, I know some people might not agree with me, but I'm going to be very straight on this. I find it very unusual when a substitute takes place, who comes off? It's either the Asian player who comes off, yeah, okay, they're not giving him the fully chance of playing 11-side football,
Fair chance.
you know, for 90 minutes.
To express himself.
Honestly, this is, like I said, some people might not agree with me. Some people might be doing it, which I don't know. But I find it myself, when I'm refereeing, I find it that it's happened while I'm refereeing. And I'm always thinking, why is it? Is it because he's a bad player? Or is he just it's an easy target to take him off, put somebody else on.
Why is it? Ismail, that's a big point. It's a very big
Honestly,
point.
that's how I find it. I mean, like I said, some people,
Excuse me.
don't get me wrong, some teams might be playing 90 minutes of football, but this is majority of the time I've refereed, that's happened.
Well,
Not only this, when I started refereeing at the age of, when I was 35, I used to do a lot of school games. Even in the school, it was same thing happening. You had a lot of Asian players playing in the school teams, but who was substitutes? Asian players. When they come on, maybe for 10, 20 minutes, and that was it. They weren't giving them the chance to play football. We now have on East Lancs Junior League, which I'm boasting, you know, great league, great people who runs the teams, and to be honest, they're the people now who's giving our Asian lads a chance to play football. It's not just Blackburn United, it's not just the AFC or AHF. I've seen Lammock, Mellor, Mill Hill, all these teams are giving our Asian players a chance to play football. And I'm greatly appreciate what they're doing. And this is why I love this league.
fantastic. Ismail, I hope your league and everything that they promote and giving a chance to British South Asians coming through to top flight football, I hope it all happens. I hope your involvement that you've set up the Hawthorns League and all of what you've done so far pays off for you.
Thank you.
The recognition that you deserve for the British South Asians, you've done some great work for our community, alhamdulillah. I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you for that and we see young talent coming through, inshallah.
Before we end it, I don't want OBE.
You don't want to be?
I do it for Allah and that's it.
Alhamdulillah, fi sabilillah.
I'm not here to show off or anything.
Alhamdulillah.
I do it for the community,
Absolutely.
for our youngsters to grow in a very respectable manner,
Yep.
and for everybody to respect each other, and that's what we're looking for in the world.
Alhamdulillah, it's fantastic.
Shall we leave on a good
beautiful message, Ismail, and I fully agree with you. Alhamdulillah.
No problem.
Shall we leave? That was a good way to end it. And there's also one more comment I'm going to mention. It's a quick comment. Slushy02, Ismail is an absolute legend. Ever since I can remember, he has provided opportunities for young footballers like me to be involved in football. If I've not said it before, thank you, Ishi.
Thank you very much.
Massive respect.
It really
Thank
gives
you
me pleasure.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you
comments.
too. Thank you. And I want to thank the next superstar coming into top flight football for being who he is. Alhamdulillah, we've covered quite a lot of topics. We've had our guests, Mr. Khalid Isa and Mr. Ismail Insight, giving us their insight and their experiences. If you feel you've been hard done by on the football pitch, get in touch with us. Check the videos. Episode 1 to 4 is all available on demand for you. Next week, we'll be bringing you new topics, new areas, and something you'll all be very interested in also. So, from myself, the team, all of the team, thank you very much for watching Sports Talk on UC TV. Your host, Hussein Mahmood, signing out this week. We're back next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m.